working good. Okay, best if you tell me everything you know, because then I can search for things you're not.
So, I don't know, because this one, I'm not sure if I understood it well in the first place. But when I tried to do this, I started with the h of x equals f of x over g of x, and then said that was the h prime of x was equal to d over dx of f of x over dx. So after that, I wrote out everything using the quotient rule and got that g of x was equal to d over dx of f of x, well multiplied by that, sorry, minus f of x times d over dx of g of x. Because I tried to use the quotient rule just with the gx and fx instead of the numbers.
Yep, you have to. You can't use the numbers. You can't use numbers until you're done using the derivative operator. So I can't have any numbers until I'm finished using the derivative rules. So this would lead to so what did you get here?
It was g of x multiplied by, I just wrote it as, well, it'd be dx, no, d over dx of f of x.
And you can take a little shortcut there. Because again, it's kind of a balance between how much you write and how much you think. But you're thinking of this, yes?
Yeah.
And then what's that equivalent to?
I wasn't sure.
That's equivalent to using the chain rule, f prime of x multiplied by d of x over d of x, which is just f prime of x. So that requires the chain rule. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I want to test everybody in the room here. I'll give you some extra credit. You can mark it down and turn it in either term 2 or term 3. If you see this on a test, okay, first of all, let's make sure there's no questions. Okay, does anybody need me to talk more about why this green is true?
I don't know, like, I'm just not sure. That's like what I didn't understand with this problem though. Like,
So the chain rule says that anytime you have d over dx, now just keep talking, Jake, you're doing great. Anytime you have d over dx of some function of something, the derivative is going to be f prime of the something multiplied by the ddx of that something. So that's just the rule, the chain rule. Hear with that?
yeah.
So let's get everybody to do this one, might help. You all need to be able to do that to be successful in the retake. So who knows what that is? Just use the same rule. Just raise your hand when you know it. No one knows it. Christine's in. Elizabeth, maybe. Jake, maybe. If you're stuck, it's no big deal. We just got to find these places where you're getting stuck and fix it. Elizabeth?
Is it 2? Or is it f prime of 2? Is it
No. Good try though. Christine? No. So look at this. Whenever you have ddx of some function of something, the chain rule says this becomes the derivative f prime of the something multiplied by the ddx of that something, like that. And then, what's that? Hands up. Try to get you to think and talk. Like, what's just this piece here? There we go, Megan.
2.
That's simply 2. So this would be 2 multiplied by f prime of 2x. Question? So that's the chain rule. You've got to, that's going to keep showing up. So right here, Jake correctly took the bottom, g of x. The derivative of the top is just f prime of x. You want to talk more about it? You all have to guide the discussion. I can't. I have to go off of what's bothering you. So then, Jake, what's the next part going to be?
And then it would be minus f of x times the derivative of g of x.
Good. And then that part I'd like you to learn to do in your head. So the derivative of g of x, Jake, what's that going to be?
Wouldn't it be g prime of x times dx over dx?
Perfect. G prime of x multiplied by dx over dx. And then dx over dx equaling 1 would simply give us g prime of x. And then it's all divided by
G of x squared.
okay. I just make sure all of you are kind of pushing yourself. One common flaw in calculus is people just don't push themselves enough. Like you have to go farther and say, because a common thing in calculus is to feel like you're ready for a test, you take it, and then the score doesn't come back with what you want. And sometimes that's just because you kind of stopped learning a little too quick. You have to keep saying, okay, now did I really get that? And just learn to talk about as much as you need to. But does anyone want to talk about to here? Does anyone need me to do something again or anything? So now what? Anybody? Please, Christine.
You would plug in the numbers from the table. So you would plug G of 4, G of x, and then f minus x. Plug in 5. And then f of x you would do 2, and G prime of x you would do 1 all over 1
No, it's very good. So Christine is saying, I can now take this and h prime of specifically 4 has to equal g of 4 multiplied by f prime of 4, subtract f of 4 multiplied by g prime of 4, all divided by g of 4 all squared. And then as she said, now we're just putting in the numbers. So -3, 5, -2, -1, all divided by -3 squared. You want to talk about any of that? Please.
I have a question back at the h prime. Do you have to put the f of x and g prime of x in parentheses so that the negative distributes to both?
Oh, really good question. Because it's minus 2 factors multiplying, and there are no terms, we don't have to have any additional parentheses. If I had minus something like this, a factor that actually consisted of two terms, I would have to have those in parentheses like that. Good question. So then just finish it off for the video. Negative 15. Negative times negative is positive, back to negative. Minus 3 all over. Negative 3 squared is positive 9. You're going to get negative 18 over 9, which is negative 2. Unless I made an error.
I think it's -2.
That didn't work out very well.
I think it's -15 minus.
It is -2. Sorry about that. So negative 17 over 9. Question? You have a different one you want to talk about.